In the last few years, I was given the wonderful opportunity to be the musical director of Zamus Early Music Festival. I truly believe that together with Melanie Froli and the wonderful Zamus team, we have managed to create a unique festival with a very distinguished feel to it. Early music, for me, is one of the newest performance art forms, and with the Zamus Early Music Festival, one can truly see and understand that historical performance practice is more about the presence and the future, and maybe less about the past. In the last few festivals, we were blessed with a large amount of new compositions for historical instruments and some very intuitive and interactive concert formats that I would like to hope helped opening the door of the historical performance practice world to a wider audience. I also like the fact that we have managed to create a nice connection and an inner story between the last 4 festivals. I find this, so to speak, evolutionary process a very special experience for me, and I hope for the audience that followed us. We had many fantastic creations in the last festival editions. The ones that left the biggest mark on me were our own Zamus productions. Among them, Johann Sebastian Bach, Das Kapital, with Leo Batusek and our own Zamus Collective, Fish and Chip, with Honolulu Star Production and Zamus Collective, and last but definitely not least, the finale from our last festival games with the fantastic choreographer Juan Cruz and our own Zamus Collective. All these productions were a wonderful manifestation of the amount of talent among the Zamus members and the endless imagination and possibilities that are embedded in the historical performance practice genome. These productions already have an afterlife after the festival, and this is the best recognition a festival can get. From my experience in the last few years, as a general rule, the memorable concerts were usually the ones created especially for the festival, and not the productions we got as is. Maybe because in these productions there was a lot of discussion and cooperation with the musicians regarding the content and format of the concert. The difference between a good festival and a great festival can be very subtle. For me, one of the defining elements is the different concerts that connect to one another with an invisible thread, and thus they create a one-time unique story that really cannot be duplicated otherwise. For me, this is priceless. I've put a lot of thought and consideration in putting the programs together. Although in the end, very few people actually go to all the concerts. We have around 20 concerts every year. But I think the impact of having such an imaginary connection between the concerts is felt even if one doesn't go to hear all the entire story or all the concerts. One can maybe compare it to a brilliant TV show where each episode is different and not necessarily connected to the last chapter, but the invisible thread keeping the show together is very present throughout. Reality, though, has taught me that some things cannot be duplicated, and only the mixture of venue, audience, and pieces create a very memorable thing that, until you try it, you cannot really know.